What's up? What's up, guys? I hope you guys can hear me. If you're here, let me know if you can hear me or not. So we are here in the garage. Welcome to uh, Garage Talks today. Yes, every time trying something different. Something different. Let me just uh, yeah, figure out here my camera. So I hope you guys can hear. So the microphone needs kind of a little funny, but it should work. So we are live stream from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I hope Instagram is coming through too. Looks like it's coming through. So if you're here for the first time, I'll let you know what's going on. So this is my live not podcast, but live stream that we talk about garage stuff and so on and so forth. So let me know if you are here, leaving a comment below. Not sure if I can see the Instagram comments, but hey, just let me know if you are here. So let's take a look at the chat. Let me know you are here so I can give you a shout out. So of course we have Gary, we have Brian. Brian, sounds good. Thank you. Glad you guys can hear. Gary, Shad, what's up? All Cole, what's up, man? I made this week. I missed a good one last week. That last week was a good one because this was the first time I tried this setup. So today we are live stream for the first time on Facebook and Instagram. So if you are watching on Facebook and Instagram, let me know so I can give you a shout out. So as always, I said, give it that thumbs up. Thumbs ups are free. Give it away, right? And today I actually want to talk about something that, I'll share my screen here in a little bit so we can talk about it. But the main question is, how much should we spend on a project car. And as you guys know, I don't know if you guys know or not, but I'm looking for a project car, right? Because project cars, my car is pretty much done. Which, by the way, if you're following my page on Facebook, I post there that the camera, I put the cover on. So one of my friends, he's a professional detailer. He said one of the worst things you can do with your car, it's put a cover on. So I took my off. So let me know if you leave your cover on, if you are against it or not. So let me know. Let's see here on the chat. Xavier, what's up? What's up, brother? What's up? Get those thumbs up. Get those thumbs ups, boy. Get those thumbs ups. Jeff, I just spoke about you, about you. What you said about the cover. Keeping a car on a cover is the worst thing you can do. So I removed mine. So you see, here, you should listen to whoever knows more than you. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Mine is under a cover. Welcome. I have a soft cover on mine, Gary. So I think a lot of people leave on the cover. I just found very interesting what Jeff said to me. Actually, he said on my Facebook page. So if you're not following my Facebook, make sure to check it out. The Facebook. So yeah, if you're here for the first time, either you are on Instagram or you are on Facebook or Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, I would suggest you go to YouTube. YouTube is where we can see more of the comments, or either Facebook. Instagram is a new thing, so I don't know how the audio is coming through. I don't know. I cannot see who it's live there. But if you are here on Instagram too, you are welcome. So, but yeah, I would suggest you go to the YouTube feed, because YouTube it's way better than in terms of comments and so on and so forth. And I'm saying, all right. So what I want to talk today is, and I will share here a little bit what I've been doing. It's like, how much do you guys think it's a good price or money to spend on a project car? How much do you should spend on a project car? It's a way broad question to answer. I think all depends on your budget and so on and so forth. What are you looking for? But I'll give you my 2 cents, right? And then I'll go back to the chat to see. So what I think about the project car is, first, project car is not that car that's mint. It's something that you're probably gonna fix it up. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say, pay as little as you can, or find yourself a good deal, because you're probably gonna spend a lot of money because it's a project car. Either if it's a race car or it's a project truck, whatever. So I would say try to figure out a project that you can attack. Of course, it's really hard to buy something cheap without problems. But I would say, I'll give you my example, right? I'm trying to look for something really cheap. And I'll say really cheap. I actually have 2 ranges, right? One's like super cheap. I'm looking for something like around $2,000, super beat up, that I can get to my hands dirty and keeping me busy, because that's what I like to do. Maybe you have a totally different point of view. What is a project car for you? Maybe a project car for you, it's gonna be something more, low miles, that you're gonna, use your towels to clean it up all the time. But for me, it's fixing. I like to see the process of getting that thing totally destroyed and fix it. That's what the fun is for me. And when you do that, what you have to think about is, all right, I gotta buy really cheap with a lot of problems so I can fix it. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say is try to stay as low as you can, if that's a thing. So I have 2 things in mind for my next project. One is has to be super cheap, or has to be something that I never fixed before. I know not a lot of people like that idea. Not a lot of people are a fan of it, but I think it's just something to keep me busy. But I cannot drop like 10 grand, 15 grand. The other day I was looking for Copart. You guys are probably familiar with Copart. And I was trying to look at C6, but a Z06. Even a C6 Z06 from Copart is like 15, 20 grand if you can get it because it's a beat, right? But I don't think I'm on their range because if you guys buy from Copart, it's gonna have a rebuild title and so on and so forth. So I'm really looking more at the the cheap side of it, which I'd say between 2 and 6 grand. That's what I'm trying to be at, right? So let me know. Let me know, what do you think it's a good budget to build something that you've never built before, and something that can you can learn on. You know what I'm saying? Brian, millions. I wish I had that kind of money though. Uh, Let me just change one thing here. There you go. I think this is better, right? Brian, millions. Shed, 10K base price. I think that's a little high though to me. I think you can find something. We're gonna look here. I'll show on my screen. Uh, Brian, serious though, the budget is all in what you're going to do with it. Keep it. I agree with it. So if you're trying to flip, I'll tell you about my experience, right? If you're trying to flip, you are not buying on, you're not making money on selling a car. You're making money when you buy it. You gotta buy really in a good deal so you can make money. Brian said he will sell you the C4 for 2 grand. I'll buy it right now. Venmo you, Brian. The budget should be all in what you're going to do with it. Are you going to keep it, flip it, show, race it? I agree. I agree. But that's what I think. That's what I think the budget it's gonna be dictate, because if you're gonna keep it, doesn't really matter how much you pay, right? And I would not call like a project car itself, because you're keeping, like, you're not fixing anything. That's what I want to make sure. Like, if you bought a car that's brand new, low miles, brand new. What I say, I don't know. For example, Gary's car is a brand new car. So you bought a car with low miles, clean, clean, clean. I'm not consider a project car because you're not doing too much with it. You are adding a couple things, you know what I'm saying? But if you bought a car, you're gonna transform that car. That's what I'm calling a project car. I don't want something that I get it and it's just clean. I want something that I wanna fix it. I want to look for parts. I have to be challenged. I have to change things here and there, and so on and so forth. So that's what I call project car for me, right? So by the way, if you wanna hit that thumbs up, as I said, if you can share this live stream, I really appreciate, because that means a lot to me. But yes, so the what we're looking here is what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? 2 grand will get you a single wheel in my headers. I'll take it. I'll take Brian. I'll take it. So just to give you guys a couple of examples, I'll share here my screen what I have been looking at, right? So and again, this is for me. I'm not saying that's good for you, but this is for me, right? So this is the kind of thing I'm looking at it. Maybe it's not your thing, and to be honest, it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not for everybody, but I would say, uh, hold on, stay bear there with me. Alrighty. Oh, this is not right. Hold on, bear with me. Let me try here again. I think that should be right. right? So this is my Facebook a marketplace, right? So let me see here if it's coming through. Yeah, there you go. It's coming through. So let me know if you can see it. So this is what I'm looking at, right? For example, this one, it's a 1992 Corvette, uh, 7500. This one's actually pretty clean though. Look at it. It has how many miles? 156,000 miles on it. Uh, but I see there are things here if you read the description. And again, it's a project car. I don't really care about how many miles there is, so don't be attached to it. And again, this is what I'm looking at myself. I'm not looking at. Let me just remove one thing from here. So, yep. So this is what I'm looking at for myself. This is not like, I know a lot of you guys like low miles stuff, but I think this would be a nice project, although it's up there in price. Look at this one here. This one's one of the trucks that I always have my eyes on it. I love it. I do love this truck. This is a Chevy Silverado SS. Chevy made this, I think, for a year or 2 years, if I'm not wrong. Uh, and it's really hard. This car is it's turning into like a rare car, and it's really hard to find one in good. How do you say, in good? You know, in good shape, because it's a 2003, so people have been beat up on it. This is a great example. It has a 136,000 miles, uh, and needs transmission. That's why it's 3 grand. And look at the side of it. It's got a heat on the side. But again, this thing, fix it up, it's worth. There's the door jam, the door panel here is missing. So there are a couple of things here and there that. But this is the kind of project I'm looking at. But I'll show the ones that I get. This C6 C5 here doesn't have engine, so it doesn't really matter. But look at this one here. This is a C5 Corvette manual, if that comes through. Oh, it's not coming through. Why? Oh, there you go. So this is a C5 Corvette with 9,000 miles on it, and it has a lot of work to be done. But this is a good project car. 10 grand, 9,000 miles, manual. Needs a lot of TLC, but also needs. I hate those headlights. Sorry if you have those. I hate those. That's not my thing. But it's white, which I like. The bumper needs to be replaced. The headlights need to be replaced. I think the description here say the needs brakes, needs wheels. The muffler, it's missing. So there are a bunch. Like, I think this, you can get this down like another 2-3 grand. But you see, it's manual. Probably needs seats. The dash is probably beat up. But this is a good look. Look how nasty is this engine bay though. But this is a product car for me. It needs battery, so I think you have another 2 grand, 3 grand less than what he's asking for. Here another C4, right? Clean title. It's a 1991 $7,700. So this looks clean, but it's less than 100,000 miles on it. But that's the kind of thing I have been looking at. So let me see what you guys say in the comments. I gotta catch up on the comments. Get a C5, best bang for the buck. I agree. I'm between a C5 and a C4. I mean, you buy a C4 or C5. I beat you shit. The C4, yes. Mary, get a 1999-07 classic cab with a 3-point. Look at trucks too, though. It's hard to find a good deal on a truck. Yes, make sure this SS Silverado is all-wheel drive. That one, it's all-wheel drive. I already check it, but need a transmission. Love those SS trucks. Yes, me too. That's why I was like, dude, 3 grand has a lot of work to be done on that truck, but maybe I can get for cheap. I don't know. Uh, only thing that sucks about the SS Silverado is that it doesn't have the LS2, which was the only. Yeah, I agree. So that's why the Trailblazer though, the Trailblazer is going up in price like crazy, like crazy. So that's a good option because catch my eyes on the SS Silverado. It's that truck is rare. Is rare. Like you find one in good shape, you are talking about 20, 25 grand, even with high miles above 100,000 miles. But a low truck, if you can fix it up, man, you probably gonna make money on it because it's a rare truck. Of course, you gotta be careful with rust. That's the only concern on that one because, to be honest, transmission, I would love to try to put a new transmission on, but I don't know about the rust because body work is something that I cannot do here. I'm saying, unfortunately. All right, that truck is a money pit with all the damage and trends. Yeah, 3 grand though, 2 grand. Let's say I get for 2 grand. A transmission for that truck is another 2 grand. Body work maybe 2 or 3 grand. So I was still gonna be like 6 grand in now. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's room for improvement on that truck for 3 grand, even replacing everything. So King Duramax, that C5 only has 3 exhaust pipes. I know, right? But hey, that's a project car though. That's the thing. That's a lot. If you want to buy a project car, that's the thing. Those are the things that you're gonna face. You're not gonna get something perfect mint. Otherwise, you pay top price. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? Regular cab, short, bad shaft pickup, there's not, but crazy money. Yep. My dream, it's a C10. But those things, like even in rough shape, is like 15 grand right now. So those headlights on the C5 suck. Terrible look. I know, dude. I don't know why people like that. So this is just a better choice. Supercharge your vet. Great project, dude. A lot of people tell me that like you should supercharge a car, and to be honest, my car, a supercharge, I'm looking at least at 7 to 10 grand, and then I'm gonna put a supercharger in, and that's it. So I'd rather take that money, invest in another project. Now my car is pretty good the way it is. I know a lot of people like, hey, you need more horsepower. Why? Why do I need more horsepower? Like I don't race, and even the drives that I do with my friends, it's 430. It's more than enough. Not every single Corvette, like old generation has that. Like a C5 has 350. So the LS2 actually say 400, but to the wheel is 350 probably. So mine has 430 to the wheel. So I get it. I want something above 600. Yes, but at this point of my life, I don't know if it makes sense to invest the money on it. I'd rather get something else that I keep busy and I don't touch this anymore because this is my baby. This is my day. It's my show car. It's my, that represents everything I learned for a car and so on and so forth. So I want to get something else. When I have the means, maybe I will do a supercharge. But I just think it's too much money to drop on a car. I know, maybe, I don't know what you guys think. Let me know if that makes sense or not. Take the body work budget and time it by 3. I don't know. I think I can get that fixed cheap. Yeah, we'll see. But that was just a example. I'm more towards a Corvette, and the reason why I'm more towards a Corvette is because I can put in my garage and work on my garage. A truck, I have to be working outside, and I don't want to do that. So that's what goes down to. You know what I'm saying? I'll sell my Fox Bar Mustang. I have been looking at Mustangs though, but I'm not familiar. The thing about the Corvette is I'm very familiar with the platform, right? The C5 and C6 are very similar in a bunch of ways. So I'm very familiar with the platform. So I think makes sense for me to get a Corvette. I'd rather get a C5 than a C4 because the C4 has more stuff that I'm not too comfortable with. But if I get a good deal on a C5, on a C4, Why not, right? Why not? So if you look here, I'll show you another C4 that I was looking at. So this one, 6 grand. Let me know what you think, Brian. Right? I really want to know your opinion. So this is a 2000, a 1991 for 6 grand. Has 90,000 miles on it. It's red. You can. There's no pictures of the interior. It's auto. It's not manual. But I think for that price, if this car doesn't have a problem, I see here on the bumper. I don't know how much you guys can see it. You cannot see because my my face is on. Let me get this out here and this out here. So this is, you see here on the bumper. I don't know how much you guys can see, but you should be able to see here on the bumper. You see, you should be able here to see there's a bump, damage on the bumper. But hey, the car doesn't look that bad by the pictures. I'm quite sure for the guy being asked, it's dirty, which is okay. Maybe a paint correction can fix it, bring back to life. It's down in Virginia, which I don't mind driving. You say one owner, which I that's not true. But that's another option as far as a project goes. So let me know, what do you think? I think my two options are three options, or either a truck like one I send you guys. There's other truck that I'm looking at, but that one's, I don't know if it's a good thing. It's a S10 2001 2002 S10. But as I said, I'd rather go a Corvette route because the Corvette I can fit in my garage and I can work during the winter whenever it's raining or so on and so forth. I don't want to be stuck on a truck because a truck, for example, I have stuff to put on my truck, which by the way, a video coming soon. But it has to be nice outside, or at least nice enough that I can be outside. Because the way it is, I cannot be outside, and the truck doesn't fit in my garage. So that's why I'm more towards a car. Either if it's a Corvette, and again, Corvette is just because I'm very used to the platform. So that makes everything easy. I think you were at least 10K into one, even make it presentable. Yep. For that C4 money, I would buy the white C5 for the little extra cost. Yeah. So I think in that C5, you gotta it 10 grand, even 10 grand, you gotta take some money out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the bumper, the description says, and I'm shooting myself here because somebody can watch here and just go and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Buy it. I think it's a good deal. If I had the money, I would be there already. But I'm not in the position yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 months. So, but I keep looking at it, right? So if you look at that C5, I think you have another 2 grand. I would make an offer at 8 or 7.5 to get to 8. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably what I would do with that one. But yeah, I really want a C5, a white C5. That's my goal. But if in the middle way I get something like, for example, that 1991 C4 for 4 grand, if I maybe I can negotiate 4 grand because there's no picture of the interior, which is a red flag for me. But maybe it's something that I can bring down. So that's why I'm saying, like, a project car, I cannot go. I think if I keep flipping cars, I'm gonna get at the position that I can flip something between 15, 20, even 25, and then you are talking about like a 40 grand car. But it's different. It's down the road now. I think my real budget would be 6. If I can get something for 5, 8 would be like pushing a little bit. So that's the next project. I'm really towards the C5, but I want to show you guys those two options and get your opinion. What I should get, like a truck, a car. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you guys think? A truck, a C5, or a C4? I bet the interior is trash in the red. I bet too. So you can tell a bunch about the the listing. So if people are hiding, so uh, uh, it's bad. Like Nike says, just do it. I'm doing it. Hold on. It's not something I can just grab 8 grand and do it. I have a family. I have a family. I have a dog. I have a little dog to feed. So it's not that simple though. Bear with me. We're gonna get there at some point. So I messed up my camera here. So sorry. Um, Shed C5 100%. Yeah, you should wait for Carlisle. Might get a great deal, bro. I don't know though. Carlisle, it's pretty. Carlisle, it's like it's not. I would not call a project car in Carlisle because people selling Carlisle, they are Corvette guys. They like low miles, mint car, one owner. I'm not paying that price. That's me. Oh, look at who decided to show up. Pete C5. Yes, man. C5. Hey, Pete. Uh, Shed. Good point, Gary. There was a few decent deals there. I don't know, man. I'll say that again. Carlisle, it's people there have a different mindset. Like if you want to buy like a car to keep it, I think Carlisle is good. But if for a project car, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's Carlisle. It's you find good deals, but you pay the money for it. I saw the guy from Corvette World. What is his name? I forgot his name. But anyway, you can go to the internet and watch. He bought a C4, 17 grand for a C4. I don't know. That's a little too much for me. Matt, you did a beautiful job on your last C5. I'd say go. Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I love it. That's why the problem, not the problem, but the only thing about that C4, the C5 was too good to be true. So, but I wanted something more challenging. Uh, to be honest, I don't even care if there's a transmission problem. You know what I'm saying? If I pay cheap and there's a transmission problem, okay, I'll replace the trans. But I have to pay. I have to buy that right. That's the thing. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but a project car is not something with low miles mint. It's something that it's gonna be beat up. It's gonna need transmission. It's gonna be exhaust. It's gonna need either a bumper or either seats. Even my C5, if you guys remember, if you are here for the first time and you didn't watch 2 years ago, I had a C5, a 1999 C5 with 38,000 miles on it, and it had only one owner. The car was mint, but needs seats. I replaced the seats. I cleaned up the interior. I had aftermarket wheels already. So I put a bunch of things here and there, covered the steering wheel and so forth, so on and so forth. But the car was good. But even with a good car, I had like the seats were beat up because probably the previous owner was too a big guy. So Corvettes are really easy to damage the seats because how low they are. But yeah, just think about that when you're saying, oh, you should, a project car is totally different than a car to keep it. And to be honest, I don't know, man. I probably next week I'm gonna talk about this, like the financial side of having the financial side of having a car, what you should do, what I do. I think it's a good talk because that involves like for example, a lot of people say to me like, why you don't buy a C8? Because financially it doesn't make sense to me. That's the reality, and I'm not gonna put myself in the position. But again, maybe we're gonna talk about this next week, like finance and cars, because cars are not cheap, and let's be real. Interest rates are trash now. It's like the highest you can buy. So I don't know if it's a good thing to finance a car right now. But third gen Camaro on Trans Am, yeah, I'm looking at Camaros too. What I like, man, the Camaros. What attracts me on it, it's the fact it has a rear seat, because then I can ride with my wife and my son. The Corvette's pretty limited I can ride with my son, but then my wife has to stay home, right? The other thing I'm looking at it's last year. I hope my wife's not watching, but last year was my 10 years anniversary. I didn't do we didn't travel because we had a bunch of stuff happening on our family. But this year we're gonna travel. But I'm also looking for a car for my wife. My wife, she loves Porsche, so and she doesn't mind to be a like an old Porsche. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is my wife doesn't drive a stick. She only drives auto. So it's really hard to find a Porsche. I'll show you one here. Let me see if I can see it, and I'll show you guys. Uh, but yeah, that's I'm looking at something for her as well. Look at this. Uh, if she was driving a manual, this would be something I would buy to her tomorrow. Look at that, how beautiful it is for her, dude. That would do everything for sure. Look at that. It's a beautiful car. It's a 2001 Porsche Boxster. It looks beautiful. I like the color combo. The guy was cover. Look, but it's manual, so she doesn't drive a manual. I was trying to talk to her. I want to surprise her, but for that price, though, I would buy for her. Look at that. It's a nice car for her, man. I would love to have this in the garage and sometimes take for a ride. But that would not be that would definitely not be a project car. That would be for her as a gift. And maybe that's gonna happen. We don't know. So, but to do that, I have to sacrifice my project car, or go really cheap with a project car. Uh, do a Porsche then. Yeah, the Porsche is not gonna be a project car. It's gonna be for my wife. I can do things on it, but uh, if you buy a C8, you are joining half of the Corvette population, Carlisle. That's something. Yeah, no, I'm not buying the C8. I get it, the hype. You know, what I'm saying I appreciate whoever likes that. But it's I don't know. I buy a C8 and know what I'm gonna do. Drive because the car is perfect. You know what I'm saying. So teach her how to drive a stick. I try it, but she doesn't want to learn. So, and I don't want to buy because if I buy it with a stick, I'm gonna have more trouble than fun because I tried to teach her on the Corvette when the Corvette was stock. And to be honest, the Corvette's pretty easy to learn how to drive manual because the torque. So you don't need to ride on the clutch a lot. But that's the other thing, you know. What I'm saying like that's the other option. Maybe I'll buy my wife a Porsche. But that's a surprise. Man, she doesn't have patience to watch my lives. That's the kind of support I get with my wife. No, she watched, but she doesn't watch. She just look to give me some feedback to see, hey, the audio was good, and the image was clear, and so on and so forth. But she doesn't do. She doesn't watch. So I hope she doesn't watch. But I think I'm more towards if I don't find the Porsche, I think I'm going towards that C5, that white C5. But that white C5, I will not pay more than the $8,000 though, to be honest, because it needs a battery, needs a bumper, needs the mufflers need to be fixed, which it's okay. Everything I can do, you know what I'm saying. And that's the other thing though. Once you face some project, like once I did this wide body car, I'm not afraid to take panels off and take bumpers, and once I do the cam, I'm not afraid if I need to replace the balancer on that thing, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? That's where my mind is, and that's where the project car comes. The project car comes in hand. Wait, I missed. What Porsche are you looking at? I'm looking at what is that? A 2001 Porsche Boxster. It's not the kind of Porsche you like, homie. But it's for my wife. It's more a lower end. It's a 2001 Porsche. It's not the new stuff, but it's still a Porsche, and that one looks pretty good. My wife. So my wife thinks my YouTube channel is. My wife thinks the same though. Sorry, buddy. Captain is here with me. Do a C5 automatic and give her the option of selling. Yep, that's the option too. I didn't say that, but that's the option too. A Porsche is a Porsche, buddy. That's right. That Porsche is a Porsche. So I can let me see if I can share here again. That's the Porsche I'm looking at on me. Let me see if I can have like a profile. That's the Porsche I'm looking at. Um, the top works, everything works. Uh, I'm not convertible guy, but she likes it, so I don't know. It's hard to if I have to convince her to I have to converse her to learn a stick, which is not easy task because I try it. I have been trying to be honest. I have been trying in the last couple of years, so that's why I didn't. Probably is gonna be a C5 with an auto, so I can try to fix it. And once I fix, just one thing, so you guys know, when I bought the C5, she gave me all the support I needed, which I don't do anything without her support. Like everything you see here is because my wife supports me. If she doesn't, I will not do it. Right? That's the agreement that we have on our marriage. Uh, so the C5, she supported me to buy. I bought it, and the first time I brought that home, she didn't even want to get in because that there was such a smell inside. Uh, and then I started fixing up. I think by the time I got the car, it took me like 2 months to get that like clean, 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 putting new seats. And then she rode with me. And then, man, she was in love. She's like, yeah, if it wasn't a manual, I would say keep it. I just sold because it was a manual. Because if it was a auto, I would keep it. You know what I'm saying? That's gorgeous. Yeah, man. For an 8 grand, dude, you cannot beat it. You know what I'm saying? Porsche GT2 RS manual in blue or lime green for me. Bro, you are talking about good money, dude. You are gorgeous. So yeah, that's the options as far as a project car goes. So just to recap, I'm between a C5 first option, C5 Corvette, beat up. Remember, it's a project car. It's not a perfect car. Second, C4 Corvette, and third, pickup truck, really beat up. And fourth, a car for my wife. Which, man, that Porsche, it's really nice. I'll tell you, it's really for 8 grand, dude. I mean, you should buy. Omi. I know you're a Porsche guy. You know what I'm saying? Maddie, you are gorgeous too, bro. Thank you. Even my wife doesn't say that, so at least I get that from Gary. But yeah, that's what I want to share with you guys because I'm chasing a project. I'm not doing anything else to my car besides a couple, like I'm gonna do like a sound deadening thing inside. I actually just ordered the material today. Uh, the heads up display that I told you guys that I would do. I'm still chasing for parts. Uh, Funny enough, now there's no more. They don't sell the entire kit for a heads up display for the Corvette anymore. So if you can help me, if you know where it's selling or it's not, a heads up display for a C6 Corvette, let me know. I'll do that, but for now I'm not gonna do because I can't find the entire kit. So you need the heads up, you need the wiring, you need everything. So I didn't find anyone in good shape, so I'm not taking the risk right now. But I'm gonna do like the installation inside for sure. I just ordered, so I should. I'm taking my car back to the dyno on not this week, the following week, and then when I come back, I'm gonna put the interior part of it. Uh, if you ever need advice before buying anything, hear me up, serious, buddy. I will for sure, especially a C4, especially a C4. Uh, I'm gonna be honest, Brian. I'm kind of afraid to buy a C4 because I don't know how complex it is to deal with it. Um, yeah, and as I said, I'm buying a project car. I'm not buying a car to keep it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I know where you could go. So yeah, boys, that's what I have for today. I know it's like 40. We are 45 minutes in, and I wanted to keep this under 50 an hour. Um, and I mean, if you're here, please leave him the thumbs up. That helps all. That's the only thing I ask you. Leave the thumbs up, uh, and then C4s are not flip friendly right now. Yeah, I know. So I know. Gary, where's Captain's here? Look at him. What's up, buddy? What's up? He's looking at me. That's Captain. If you don't know, that's Captain. That's Captain right there. My friend Captain. He's always with me. So yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions, let me know. So we're gonna wrap it up this one. I really appreciate you guys' feedback because that gives me also ideas. But I'll let you, just to make sure I'm on the hunt for a car, project car. When that's coming, no idea, but it's coming at some point. So let's keep that way. C5 is the best. If you can get a C5Z at a good deal, do it. The C5Z though, even one beat up is like 14, 15 grand, really beat up. So my goal is even when I'm done, I'm gonna be under that 15 mark. And I'll prove you because I'm gonna show you guys all the financial stuff, right? All right, boys. So that's it for today's. I hope you guys enjoy. I don't know how this went through on Instagram. I hope you did well. Also, if whoever is coming from the Facebook, thank you so much uh, for coming. And I'll catch you guys the next one, right? So next Tuesday, 8:45, you should be here. Maybe I'll talk about financial stuff because that's a hot topic. It's a hot discussion that we should talk as car guys. We should talk about it. I know a lot of people have different opinions and so on and so forth, but I think it's a good topic to talk about. You know what I'm saying? All right, boys. I'll see you guys next one. Maybe next video. I don't even have a video, but I'll see you guys at some point, or if not, next week. All right. See you. Thank you so much for watching.